You know, the desire for revenge, it's like this beautiful, intricate web that can seem so tempting from the outside. But once you're caught, you realize it's hiding a terrifyingly dark reality. Today we're going to unpack a really chilling story about a grudge that was held for 2 whole decades, and the catastrophic price that everyone involved ended up paying for it.
And the story kicks off with this really powerful idea that vengeance is basically a deceptive trap. Yeah, from the outside, it can look totally justified, maybe even righteous. But once you step inside that web, you find out it's nothing but a slow-acting poison, a darkness that doesn't just consume its target, but the person who set the trap in the first place.
So, where does this darkness begin? Well, it starts in what looks like a totally ordinary home, with a mother named Kusum and her son Arav. On the surface, their life seems completely normal, but it's shadowed by a secret, one that Arav has sensed for years but has never, ever dared to question.
See, Arav's life is pretty standard, right? He's got college, friends, studying, the usual. His mother, Kusum, she just spends her time at home. But there's this really strange ritual. For years, Arav has noticed that every single night, at the exact same time, his mom just silently slips out of the house. He never asked why. There was this strange glint in her eyes that kind of warned him not to.
But you know how these things go. That quiet, unspoken balance, well, it's about to be completely shattered. The past that Kusum has been secretly nurturing for so long is about to come knocking on her door, bringing with it the perfect opportunity she's been waiting for.
And the thing that sets it all off? It arrives in the most innocent way you could possibly imagine. One afternoon, Arav brings a friend from college home to get some notes. He says, "Mom, this is Neha." And in that single moment, as Kusum looks at this ordinary, sweet girl with kind eyes and a gentle smile, a 20-year-old plan just clicks into place.
Kusum is so methodical here. Through what seems like just casual conversation, she asks Neha her full name, Neha Sinha, then her father's name, the Vivek Sinha, and finally her home village, Chandrapur, the exact same village as Kusum's. And in that instant, she knows. This is the daughter of the man who completely betrayed her 2 decades ago.
So, with her target's daughter now right there in her own home, Kusum begins to meticulously weave her web. She's going to use affection as her greatest weapon, turning what looks like a sweet, budding young romance into the perfect vehicle for her dark, magical revenge.
Her strategy is terrifyingly patient, and it has 3 main parts. First, she actually encourages her son Arav to fall for Neha. Second, she showers Neha with affection and, most importantly, homemade sweets. And third, this is the most sinister step. She insists that Neha take these enchanted sweets home for her mother, Riya.
And the scary part? Her plan works perfectly. While Arav and Neha are falling deeply in love, dreaming of a future together, this strange illness starts to take hold of Neha's mother, Riya. She gets weaker every single day, can't keep any food down. The doctors, they're completely baffled. But Kusum, she knows exactly what's happening. The poison in her sweets is working.
Arav starts to notice this strange look of satisfaction in his mother's eyes whenever someone mentions Riya's worsening condition. So one night, while she's out on one of her trips, he searches her room. And there, he finds the horrifying truth. All these ritualistic items, including a glass of water with Neha's name on it, a small packet of hair, and a handkerchief with the name Riya written on it.
All the pieces are there, and Arav just can't ignore them anymore. He confronts his mother, demanding to know what is going on. And with a chilling smile, Kusum finally confesses the secret that she has carried inside her for 20 long years. So, where did all this hatred come from? It all started 20 years ago. Kusum and Vivek Sinha were young and in love. He moved to the city for a job, promising he would marry her, but then the calls just stopped. A year later, he came back, but only to announce he was marrying a co-worker named Riya. Years passed, Kusum married someone else, but her husband died, leaving her a widow with a young son.
But the real breaking point came just months before Neha ever showed up. Kusum saw Vivek and Riya in a shop. He looked right through her. No recognition, no remorse, not even a simple "how are you?" That cold indifference reignited all her pain into this burning hatred. And as she confesses to Arav, she says this was the exact moment she made her vow, to destroy Vivek's happiness completely.
And then she just lays it all out for her horrified son. Those nightly trips, they were to learn black magic. She admits she used a spell to make Neha fall in love with Arav. And she confesses she deliberately targeted Rhea with the poisoned sweets, all to make her so sick that Neha would be too distracted to marry Arav, just to prolong Vivek's suffering.
As Arav is reeling from this confession, he can't even process the depth of his mother's deception. The phone rings. It's Neha. And just like that, the first consequence of his mother's revenge becomes tragically real. Rhea Sinha is dead.
So Kusum has drawn first blood. You'd think she'd feel some satisfaction, right? But any sense of victory she feels is about to be consumed by this catastrophic chain reaction she has set in motion. Her win is about to prove to be the most hollow, self-destructive victory imaginable.
The first domino falls. Rhea's death is the horrifying proof to Arav that his mother's dark power is not just real, but deadly. He is standing on the edge of a complete nightmare.
Arav is frantic. He rushes to his mother, pleading with her. "You've broken Vivek. Rhea is gone. It's over. Please, just stop." But Kusum's eyes are ice cold. "No," she says. "Now it's Neha's turn." And when Arav refuses to let go of the girl he loves, Kusum locks him in his room. Her obsession is now completely out of her control.
Weeks later, a grieving Neha comes looking for Arav. Kusum, who's been waiting for this moment, invites her inside. She listens to all the details of Rhea's painful death with this chilling calm, and then serves Neha one final, poisoned meal. Days later, Neha dies in the exact same agonizing way as her mother.
When Kusum finally lets Arav out of his room and tells him what she's done, the weight of it all is just too much to bear. He loved Neha, and he was an unwilling pawn in his mother's horrific game. Overwhelmed by guilt and grief, Arav takes his own life.
And here we are, at the devastating endgame, the final unavoidable consequence of a heart that was consumed by 2 decades of pure, calculated hatred. So what does victory look like now?
Kusum succeeded, right? She completely destroyed Vivek Sinha's life, taking his wife and his daughter from him. But in the process, she lost the one and only person she truly loved. Her own world, her entire reason for living, is now gone forever.
The practitioner of the dark arts who taught her had warned her that black magic spares no one. And he was absolutely right. Her sanity shatters. She now spends all her days lost in her kitchen, endlessly making sweets and talking to the ghosts of Rhea and Neha, trapped forever in a hell she built herself.
And this really brings us to the central question of this whole story. Kusum got exactly what she wanted. She destroyed her enemy. But what did she actually win? She lost her son, she lost her sanity, and she lost herself. It really forces us to ask, even when you win, what is the true cost of revenge? And is that a price that anyone should ever be willing to pay?